morning everybody and welcome back. Now, back on the stubble again. We've had a lot of rain, so it might be a bit softer. Or then again, it might not be. But this week I've got the stock coil on, not the 15-inch coil, so it should be a lot easier. So I'll be just gliding over the top, if you know what I mean, and just wish me luck, and let's just hope that we find something worth looking at. Okay my friends, I'll catch you on the first decent signal that we get. Bye for now. Right boys and girls, well when I said it was a touch windy, that was a bit of an understatement. I'm just trying to shield the camera from the wind. Anyway, we've got the first target down here, and I can only assume it's a little clog clasp, just there my friends. It's a nice little first find anyway. Right, we'll pop it in the little boxy thing and we'll crack on. Right boys and girls, I'm hoping we've got the first coin of the day and not a button. But if it's a nice button, I don't care. Anyway, about 4-5 inches deep, came up at 76 on the ID scale, and it's just there my friends. Looks like a coin. Anyway, let's have a look. There we are my good friends. Probably a halfpenny. Feels quite heavy. Maybe George III, somebody like that. Knowing me, could be anybody. I'll give it a little spray before I put it away. And while we're on the subject of spray, today we are got the Detecting Smith's water bottle. So thank you Jason, thank you very much my friend. Right, back into the bag with that, and back into the boxy thing with that, and away we go. Right my good friends, we've got another signal down here. It came up at 79 on the ID scale. It's only about 4 inches deep, and it's just there my friends. Now, I don't actually think it's a button, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. It looks a little bit like a coin, maybe with some concretion on the back of it, but to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what that is. I mean, it might just be a button, I don't know, but it's a very odd shape, whatever it is, even if it is a button. So it could turn out to be quite interesting, that. Anyway, we'll pop it in the little boxy thing and we'll get a bit further. Right boys and girls, I'm just detecting at the side of this footpath. I've got a signal down here. I've actually got it in my hand. I've just been trying to have a look at it. I don't know, it might be some kind of military badge. It's all mangled up though. Bloody typical. I might be able to straighten it out, find out what it is, I'm not sure. But I think that's what it is anyway. But once again, I could be completely wrong. Anyway, we'll pop it in the bag and we'll get a bit further. Right boys and girls, I'm still at the side of this footpath. Got a signal down here. Once again, only about 4-5 inches deep. Came up at 69, 70 on the ID scale. Don't need the pinpoint probe because it's just there my friends. Definitely a coin. Don't know whether there's anything left of it, but let's have a look. Right boys and girls, let's have a look and see what we've got here. It's looking a bit grim. Well, there's the imprint. I don't know. It could be good old King George, I suppose. I don't really know. I'll have to clean it up later and have a better look. Right, into the boxy thing with it and we'll plod on. Right boys and girls, well it's getting a little bit blustery once more, but not to worry. Got a target down here. Well, it's not in the hole, it's out of the hole. It's just there, I can see it, so I don't need that. And I'm hoping we might have got yet another coin. We have. I don't know, could be a George V half the penny, something like that, half a penny. Not entirely sure, but there you go. Right, boys and girls, not much to look at, admittedly. Okie dokie, into the boxy thing and we'll get a bit further. Right, my good friends, we've got a target down here, probably about 5 or 6 inches deep. Fortunately, just in this area the stubble's only about 2 to 3 inches high. It's just there, and I'm almost certain it's a button. Yeah, it's a button. There may be some design on it, I don't know. We'll have a look later anyway. Right, into the bag with it and we'll crack on. Right, my good friends, we've got a target down here. Came up at 74 on the ID scale. The hole is just over there, only about 4, maybe 5 inches deep, and it's just there, my friends. Now, hold on a minute, turn that off. I haven't touched it yet, you know as much as I do, so let's find out whether we've got a coin or a button. You watch, watch it be a bloody button? Nah. Oh, maybe not. Ooh. Oh, it's a coin! Ha ha ha! Oh, well, there you go. Feels very, very thin. I don't know, could be Victorian. I don't really know. No change there then, is there? Okie dokie, into the boxy thing with it and we'll crack on, boys and girls. Right, boys and girls, that's me finished for the day. But I have to say, once again, the Technetics T2 SE has proven itself to be a wonderful machine. Because if you think about it, I've just been skimming over the top of the stubble, which is about 5 inches high, and the targets that I've been digging up have been in between 4 and 5 inches deep. So with the 5 inches of the stubble and the 4 inches, 5 inches of the target, it's been finding targets on the stubble at round about 8 or 9 inches, which I'm obviously extremely happy with. Now, do you remember early on in the video I dug that little round thing up and I was undecided as to whether or not it was a button or a coin? Well, I've given it a little bit of a clean and to me it looks Roman, and if it is, I don't know what it's doing round here because the nearest Roman settlement from here is about 10 miles in that direction, but that doesn't mean to say they weren't wandering around. Maybe there was a Roman soldier out here, maybe he might have been sat down having a fag. I don't know. Anyway, I'll catch you all later for the roundup at home, and thanks for joining me. Okay, see you all later. Bye bye. Right, boys and girls, let's have a look at the finds. Well, over there is just some of the rubbish that I dug up. Bits of scrap lead, various rubbish. That's some sort of aluminium tube, don't know what it was for. Little clog clasp just there, an ordinary button. That could possibly be a gaming piece. Now this button, it's quite interesting actually, because as you know I do like a good button. Didn't think much of it at the time, but when I came to clean it up, I noticed that it's got the date 1840 stamped on it with some kind of emblem over the top. I don't know what the emblem is, I can't quite make it out, but it's a nice little button. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. 1840, but I don't know what it's all about. So that's the little button there. George III halfpenny, George III halfpenny. I haven't bothered waxing them because there's absolutely nothing on them whatsoever.
George V, 1 penny. The date on that I think is 1920, but it's in really poor condition. Now that is another George III half penny, but the interesting thing about that, see if I can just show you his head first. You can just about make his bust out there, facing right, but on both sides it's got quite clearly stamped on it a letter E. Just see if I can get that in focus for you when the macro decides to kick in. Anyway, you can see it anyway. It's got the letter E stamped on it, but I don't know why. It's obviously been done for a very good reason, I don't know what. And on the other side there, they've stamped another letter E, but not very successfully on that side. But yeah, so why they would want to stamp a letter E on it, I've got no idea. Anyway, that's that. And then I managed to straighten out the cat badge that I found. I've done some research on it, and the best I can come up with is 1914, and it's the Royal Voluntary Corps. I don't know what they were volunteering for exactly, apart from going to war or whatever, but that's what it is. The Royal Voluntary Corps, 1914. So that's that. And I suppose the best find of the day has got to be this. Now, when I first dug it up, I thought it was Celtic because of the design on the back. Because I can definitely see a horse with 4 legs and a tail, and possibly somebody riding the horse or whatever it is. But on the other side, it's clearly Roman. Now, I've been in touch with the FLO people, and they're a bit stumped at the moment. The girl who I know who works for the Flow sent some pictures to the expert at the British Museum in London, and he thinks, but only thinks, it could be the Emperor Augustus, but they are still undecided. So at the moment, it's not been ID'd properly, so you know as much as I do. But I mean, that side of the coin is in really nice condition, and it's a lovely coin, and a very surprising find for that particular permission. I've never dug anything up on there that's been Roman, not even seen a piece of pottery or anything like that. As I say, they were probably having a wander around just to see what natural resources were available, not too far away from lead mines and tin mines, and there has been a lot of coal found there in the past, so maybe they were after one of those things. Anyway, those are the finds, my friends, so I'll just adjust the camera. Right, my good friends, those were the finds. As I said, the Roman coin was very unexpected. Never found anything on there remotely connected to the Romans, but just goes to show you never know what's going to come up next. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed having you with me. Thank you to all my subscribers, new and old, and my viewers, new and old. Thank you very much. And I'll see you all the next time round. Bye for now.